A little update on alters. 2014 PTSD me is now named Lila, Lyla, and 2017 PTSD me is now named Roxie, Roxxie. When those parts had been present, we didn't know how to identify them in comparison with other parts. It kind of just felt like they were really isolated or super blended, and in either way we didn't understand how to communicate, because it was just this one part present with no understanding of dissociative identity stuff, or too many parts present to differentiate. And so now that we were able to separate them out and really identify, okay, this is what it is when this part's present, and now that there's this other part kind of present to help, we can, go through the process of selecting a name, and that's a process of accepting that it's one state of consciousness, accepting that it's, sharing a body with everyone else, accepting that healing is the goal, and part of that is accepting everything, and it's just a lot of radical acceptance goes into it. And then from there it's what feels like you, and almost immediately one name comes to mind and only one name fits. That's how it's been for most of the parts, but we didn't get to that clear point without a lot of groundwork and internal work and building coping tools and stuff beforehand. And the part has to feel safe to come out and to claim a name and everything, but part of that whole safety process is accepting things, because a lot of the lack of safety is very subconscious things that you don't really identify individually. You kind of just notice that they're causing problems. It's all right, I just kind of have this general disconnect and whatever, and it's very vague. The subconscious feels very vague because it communicates differently than the consciousness does. And implicit memories go through a totally different process to be processed compared to explicit memories. And trauma memories are all implicit memories. And so when you go through a process of trying to process explicit memories, and you're okay, let's put a narrative to it, let's talk about it, let's identify it, let's consciously do the work, it's not going to do anything for those implicit trauma memories that need attention. And so it's a very it feels very against my intuition to do the stuff I'm doing. And it's not because it's against my intuition, it's just because I've been doing this other stuff for so long. From my own trying to just be better, and then years and years in mental health treatment, all of the effort was consciously done. And so in the past year, it's been a huge just submitting to the journey and going with the flow to process implicit memories, because it's all subconscious. It can't be accessed through conscious effort. And so you have to pay attention to the little things. For example, when parts are communicating, it's not necessarily going to feel like parts are communicating. It's going to feel like a random impulse that kind of feels uncomfortable and not like my own, so why would I pay any attention to it? And things like that. And so to be very mindful and to just radically accept that this is what's happening, and to really just surrender to whatever's going on. When my littles ask for something, it's not a little child coming up to me saying, "Can I please have this?" That would be a lot easier to say yes to. Instead, it's me as an adult experiencing a random impulse to get this little child's toy. And so to consciously go through this process of, I feel silly, what if I look silly, what if people judge me, I feel ridiculous, I don't actually want it, there's so many different conscious things that go on. And to just surrender to the moment, ignore what is happening in the conscious in order to give the subconscious an actual chance. That's a big part of this healing journey of learning to successfully live with a dissociative identity. Where'd my cricker go? Here it is.